What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Scyushi, and we're back in some more Trove. Patch. No, or more like a hot fix. It's not really a full-on patch. The cool thing about this hot fix, though, is it is something that has rolled out for console players as well as PC, rather than coming out for PC first and then having to wait a couple weeks, if not months or so, before it ends up coming on console. We just have it show up right away. Why is this? Somebody must have replaced this the wrong way. This thing normally is supposed to aim up. I don't know who did that. I'll have to fix it. But anyways, this is a fairly useful hot fix. For those of you that don't know, there was a big bug that we were dealing with where you would throw... Lunar Lancers could like throw their lance around and it would create VFX that would end up ultimately staying as a physical entity in a club world. And it was really annoying because you could essentially just spam this ability to grief clubs because there would be so much video effects on the ground or so many, you know, little ends of the spear that it would actually start to lag out the world, and the world would either continuously crash or frame rate would just be so bad that the players involved would just end up having their game crash. But there's a couple other smaller fixes. That is the biggest one that they got rid of, which is great. Apparently it prevented building, I guess, because I guess that makes sense because it would throw it on the ground and it would act like a player entity for some reason. Yeah, so I don't fully know how the glitch works, but I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to address it in any of my videos because I didn't want to draw attention to the fact that it existed, because if I talk about these things, usually it means people will end up taking advantage of it, right? There's a couple other exploits right now that people could easily take advantage of that could just destroy clubs, but again, we won't talk about those. But before we continue, I would personally appreciate if you'd smash like. Come on, gamers, do it. If you don't, that's okay, but you should. And then we've got some stuff preparing for the Shadows Eve. So this is going to be Halloween coming around more than likely next month to the month after. It depends on when they want to end up actually launching the event. Another thing, too, that's really interesting is after this hot fix, apparently they're going to start actually talking about their big updates as far as content is concerned. Now, I've talked to you guys about this in my videos already lately, but I actually have a contact over at GameAgo that messaged me saying that they would give me some store packs and stuff to go with a new update that was coming out. And then on top of that, they were supposed to be, you know, giving me information that I could then share with you guys about all the new content. Now, they did technically, you know, technically they were right. They said that there was going to be a new update this week, but it turns out that it was just a hot fix. Yeah, so not really new content as far as I'm concerned. Them saying that it was new content, maybe there was something lost in translation because, of course, any of the employees over at GameAgo, English is not their first language. But anyway, so we got the Lunar Lancer grapple fixed, and then the Shadowy Station is getting ready for Shadows Eve 2019. It has new sections that are waiting for this yearly event. So I guess that's in case you were looking at the Shadows Eve table, which if I'm not mistaken is in the hub. Maybe it's not actually here yet. I don't know why they're telling us about it changing when I don't know if it's something that we can interact with right now. I think it waits until the event shows up before it's actually here, right? Or are they talking about this one, Shadowy event? Oh, okay, so they were talking about this one. So there's going to be the new lock boxes. The legacy boxes basically are just going to give you... these are like items that are old. They're not here anymore. So I guess unfortunate or fortunate, it means that we're going to have new collectibles and lock boxes. At least it actually says new for once. And basically when the event comes around, you're going to end up getting candy corn from fighting enemies and doing dungeons and stuff like that, and doing pumpkin dungeons. It's probably going to be the same stuff that we've seen every year, but by completing those dungeons you get candy corn, which then can be traded for these chests that will then end up having a random drop chance to end up getting Halloween event items and stuff like that. So the 2018 Shadowy Seals can now be used to craft candy corn. So it's just an item that was from a previous event or something. I don't even know what the Shadowy Seals are. I don't remember. But basically it's an item that you can now exchange just for candy corn so that that item is not just sitting in your inventory doing absolutely nothing. The Bewitching Howlug and Neon Hollow Wings now require candy corn to craft instead of, I'm assuming, the Shadowy Seals, because otherwise these were items that you just couldn't craft outside of the Shadow's Eve event, which, granted, you know, you still have to get candy corn from the Hallows Eve event itself, so, you know, it's not like you could have crafted this stuff all year if you didn't catch a Halloween event or anything. Fun fact, if you guys haven't already checked out my reaction to my first Trove video, when I got into Trove, when I bought this game on Humble Bundle, it was actually around the Hallows Eve event, but I had no idea. Like, the moon changes in the sky and turns to a weird jack-o'-lantern, and I just thought that that's what the moon was. I didn't know that there was actually the Halloween event, and I ended up missing a lot of the items that I could only end up getting the following year, because Trove and its time-gated content, right? It makes sense, but everything's locked behind mastery, right? So anyways, then the events section of the currency inventory has been moved to the top of the first tab. It should only be visible during an event when you have an event currency. Interesting. So this is supposed to show up here, I guess, on the first tab. Is that what they were saying? Something like that? I don't fully understand what they're talking about. Maybe it's just because I have a mod that changes all this, so that could be why a lot of this is hidden or not actually showing it. Or it's that I don't have any of the event currency, and the event currency is just going to show up at the top page here when an event is actually live. Yeah, so none of this stuff is actually categorized while I'm actually rocking this mod, so it could just be that the mod is changing it. I don't know. Also, I want to let you guys know, quite a few people have been asking about these wings that are on my character. So this is just going to end up being the banner that we ended up having from the recent Pinata event. But it's modded on PC to end up looking like wings. All the banners ended up looking very differently. And some of them were actually really, really dope and cool, which it's disappointing because I only have this pair because all the other ones just deleted themselves. And some of them actually looked really, really sick. So anyways, old event items have been moved to a new legacy section in the crafting menu. So once again, that would end up being in this inventory right here, which we don't have any of the categories set up. So maybe I'll do a quick relog just so I can change the HUD here so we can take a look at that. But before we do, the following items will persist in the legacy section of the crafting inventory. So this is going to be diary page 1 through 8. And the diary pages was, oh, that was weird. It was like a pirate event, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And basically you would end up having a very rare chance of getting these diary pages. Let me see if I can find them. I think they're right down here. So I didn't even get all the diary pages. I only have 1, 2, 3, and 8. Here's our Digsley token. So yeah, I guess my HUD must be messing with this. What the? Why was I able to pick that up? Weird. I don't want to double click it and destroy it. But anyways, these are just lore. Not great lore or anything. There was no incentive to end up grinding all of these just because it was a rare drop during the event. And that was pretty much all there was to it. There wasn't really anything special about it. And then we also have the following items will vanish after the Shadow's Eve 2019. So this is really important for anybody that's been playing since 2017. Because seriously, this is ridiculous. So there is a, oh yeah, we actually got rid of the table. So there was a login tokens that you would end up getting where you would log into the game and then this is showing an arrow to the right, but we literally glide up it. So it's just a visual bug. Huh. Weird. There was a thing that they had a long time ago where you would log into the game and then just on your collections, just for logging in every day, you would end up getting these tokens, right? So there was the Zinzaya's token 2017, Perifario's token 2017, so on and so forth. They all have stupid names. I don't know why they didn't just call them like the token of the month or something like that. But in either case, what ended up happening with these is you could use them then to end up either crafting certain loot boxes, which could end up giving you a bunch of gem augment items, the biggest thing about it was the Bound Brilliance, which is a time-gated resource that you can't really grind for anymore. Or you could end up crafting either a mount or an ally or something that was related to the monthly login. And you had to log in, I think, like 27 days of the month at the least in order to end up getting both of the mounts or both of the craftable items from the daily login tokens. Or you could have just bought, traded those tokens for those boxes, and they had a chance of dropping the actual items from them, which no, they didn't. I've got videos on those boxes and unboxing them and stuff. They were very, very expensive because you could actually buy them out of the store as well. And it was one of the ways that I ended up progressing so far in the game when the gem augmentation items ended up coming out, because I had more Bound Brilliance than any free-to-play player could possibly get. And I still technically kind of do, just because there's no way to grind Bound Brilliance. Please rebalance it. So anyways, long story short, what they're going to be doing is they're just going to be deleting all of those login tokens. So if you have any of them, just maybe you're trying to keep them just for fun, go and craft any of the boons that you can out of the daily login tokens. I actually still have... Where is it? I thought I had it on this crafting inventory. I still have one of the daily login... Oh, I have a set of wings right here. Huh. Set of wings, it's a banner. I still had one of the daily login boxes. There it is right there. The boon 2018, I don't know. But I'm just keeping this one just for the sake of coolness. It's the boxes themselves you can keep forever if you want, but the point is to exchange those tokens. Okay. And then as for the collections menu, I mean, you guys can easily just see for yourselves when you end up logging in what's going to happen with that. So now that this has, come and gone, this little hotfix, this has been a very big thing that a lot of you guys have been letting me know about on Twitter and Discord and stuff like that. Most of all, the Lunar Lancer bug is finally gone, because that was a big deal. There was a lot of people that were getting griefed, and no matter how many times they blocked these players from their club world, they would just end up coming back on alternate accounts over and over and over again. And it's, it's really disappointing to see something like that end up happening. But again, as much as we could blame the players for being jerks, blame the game, not the player, because in this example, it was the fault of the game's code actually having something like that. But it's nice that they finally took care of it, and that it didn't take 50 years for it to come out on console as well. So the next thing that we should be getting is the Shadows Eve event, and once again, when I end up hearing back from my contact over at GameAgo, I'm going to let you guys know all about it, obviously. But until then, have yourselves a great day. Sorry there wasn't a Trove video yesterday. I wanted to do a live stream, but I don't know. I was really, really tired. I just was so exhausted that I just ended up going back to bed, and I slept for like 12 hours, and then it was like, oh, it's too late now. Have yourselves a great day, though, everybody. Smash like, sub for more. Sayonara. Stay epic.